What's going on, guys? It's your casual hardcore gamer, Carlos Valdosta, and just a brief introduction here to a dual comm that I did with Tactix. He's going to be putting up a video tomorrow afternoon, probably around noon Eastern, and I'll probably put the audio on some of my gameplay around the same time, so enjoy.
What's going on, YouTube? This is Tactix, and today I have Carlos Valdosta, the casual hardcore gamer, with me. What's up, Carlos?
What's up? What's going on, Tactix?
Not much, and today we're going to be talking about the whole Xbox One versus PS4 drama. All right, I know everyone's seen it. I know everyone's seen both reviews. I know I have. You seen it, Carlos?
Yeah, I watched both. I watched one while I was at work. My manager didn't like that so much, but I watched the PS4 when I got home.
Yeah. I didn't have much. I don't know why they play those things so early, by the way. Everyone's working. But I saw when it came out on the Xbox dashboard. And I mean, this should be interesting because you're going to be hearing from me, a long-term Xbox gamer, and Carlos, you're a PlayStation gamer, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I had an Xbox for a little while. I won it, but I sold it just because I didn't have anybody that I knew that played an Xbox.
Yeah. Well, you do now, buddy. So work on getting one.
All right.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the Xbox One, you might have to think about that one. I've looked at the reviews, I studied them. Well, not reviews. I'm sorry, the reviews.
Right.
And I'm so disappointed, man. I'm so disappointed because, I mean, coming from an Xbox gamer, for years, 6 years, I've been an hardcore Xbox gamer. I've defended Xbox through thick and thin. Even sometimes when I would be in debates, and I know I'm wrong. Those debates where you know you're wrong, but you're not gonna give in. I back up Xbox, but this time, I don't know. I don't know about it. What do you think about these reviews?
You know what? It's one of those things where if you look at any of the YouTubers, any of the ones that are successful, it's almost like all of them are on Xbox. The only one that I can think of that's really big that's not was Only Use Can Play. But he is on Xbox. He started out on PS3, and I think he made the move just because, wanting to work with any of the other big YouTubers.
Yeah.
He had to have an Xbox. That being said, I was going to pick up both systems. Wasn't like
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing, but then I looked more into the videos, and I'm getting to a point where I feel like there's no point in picking up an Xbox One because, when it comes to the Xbox, I feel like my hands are tied. I feel like they're forcing us into things. What we have to check in every 24 hours. What's the deal with that?
Right. It's one of those things where I have I'm kind of leaning towards the PS4 anyway because again, most of my friends are probably going to pick that up. But I wanted to migrate over to kind of spread even time so that I have the Xbox and also the PS4. And I think there's something that may be a saving factor for the Xbox One. People don't see it as of right now, but I think what it is they're making a play on Steam. But they're making a console play to rival Steam.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is if you look at how their DRM rules are and everything like that for their games, people are complaining, they're taking away the secondary market. PCs don't have a secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the prices of games on Steam versus prices of console games, they're a lot lower.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That might be a big deciding factor. I mean, I just, like I said, I feel like my hands are tied. And you just uploaded a very good commentary on this big debate here, and I really loved it. By the way, that's going to be in the description, so everyone check it out if you want, extra details on what Carlos is thinking on this whole thing. And you know what? Like you said, you're leaning more towards PS4. I am also, and I know a lot of my friends are going to be like wild because they just heard that. Because this whole time I'm fighting Xbox, but I finally watched the PS4 review, and I'm really wild because
it's just one of those things where they didn't even do anything fancy. I'm not gonna say that they did because they didn't. You know what they did? They basically told everybody, you can keep doing what you're already doing. Don't change.
Yeah.
Xbox is making you change. We're not.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of, I actually think that Xbox they're going to have to make some changes because if they don't, they're going to be in big trouble financially. Because the PS4 is actually they're favoring the gamer, financially and when it comes to technology. You understand? So they're going to have to make some changes. They're going to have to, dial down on some of these restrictions, because if not, they're gonna take a big hit. You know, everyone's obviously gonna lean towards PS4 because they're blowing them out right now when it comes to these presentations.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to make a prediction. And I haven't heard this anywhere. I thought this up earlier, or actually I thought this up the day before yesterday. But this is my prediction. Sometime in the spring, maybe like January, February sometime, Microsoft is going to get sued. It's going to be a class action lawsuit.
Wow.
And here's the reason why. It's going to be some fucking... Excuse me, I hope you don't have people that cuss on the channel. It's going to be some podunk farmer from like Kansas who don't have no internet connection. And this person bought a Xbox One for their nephew or niece or whatever. There's going to be a bunch of people because, you know, the United States is huge.
Yep.
We got a lot of rural places. This kid's going to open up that junk during Christmas. He's going to bust out all his games. He's going to hook everything up. He's going to stick the game in there. No internet connection. Can't do nothing.
Yeah, and after 24 hours, the system would just shut down.
Right.
Well, what's going on, Grandpa?
That's right. No return, no exchange. You can't go to Walmart or Kmart or whatever and take that back. Guaranteed there's going to be a loss.
I mean, and that's a really different way of looking at it, and it's actually a great point. You know, I mean, that's why they're gonna have to change something eventually.
And I think you're right. They will change. They may change if they get enough flack, or they may change if something like a lawsuit happens, and they're going to have to go back and rewrite how it works.
Yep. That's what I'm counting on. That's actually. I mean, when it comes to my decision whether or not I'm getting the PS4 or the Xbox, that's what I'm counting on. I'm counting right now. If things stay this way when release dates, you know, get here, I'm gonna go with the PS4 obviously, because right now I'm leaning towards PS4. But I mean, if the Xbox change all of this stuff and they announce differences, then maybe, you know, I'll have a different decision. But as of now, if they don't change what's going on right now, I'm the PS4 all the way. Right. And it feels so weird saying that.
No, I'm right there with you. I have enough friends now, or have enough people that I know that I can jump on the Xbox One or even an Xbox 360 and actually have the people that I can play with. When I won it from work, I didn't know anybody. But just talking to people, you know, you got to kind of go with the masses or something like this, because I don't want to be on the system that there's nobody for me to like. I don't enjoy playing by myself. You know, like I like to play with other people.
Yeah.
Like why I started live streaming and stuff like that is because I want other people to jump in, you know, do something fun. That's why I don't play too many single player games.
Yeah. Well, right now I think. You know, I hear a lot of people say, hey, man, you got to get the PS4. I hear a lot of people say, hey, you got to get the Xbox One. Definitely, you know, they're all for one. But, you know, maybe right now is a little bit too early to decide, you know, who's better. And, I mean, right now, if you ask me, I say PS4 is looking a little better. But, you know, I say there are going to be changes, like you said earlier. And, you know, what I really think hit Xbox One really hard was just the presentation. You know, PS had such a, when I say presentation, I'm not saying what they presented. I'm talking about how they presented it. You understand? Like, they had so much more of a better approach. They stated what we wanted. You understand? They stated what we wanted to hear, the games. But I think Xbox One had so much more of a different approach. You know, they're going more towards the family. They're becoming like another Nintendo, if you ask me. Yeah,
and I think they're trying to target it to where it's not just a Nintendo for kids. It's like, yeah, your kids can do whatever you want, but you can do whatever you want on the TV. You want a better sports experience, you want this or that, you know, as a parent, it's there for you, and you don't have to buy something separate for your kids. Buy 2 or 3 of them, have them around the house. You know, that's what they're trying to do.
And what I liked about PlayStation is, you know, points they brought up was, you know, the hardware, stuff we want to hear. What makes the console better? You know, what's inside? What's under the hood? You know what I mean? Like, what makes it run better? What's gonna make the games better? You know, what's gonna make us have more fun? You know, that's the points that PlayStation brought out. You know, in my opinion, that's why I like their presentation more. Right. But I think Xbox One just tried too hard to wow people, and they screwed up big time because they showed us all this different stuff in the background, but they didn't really get to the point.
And you know what it is? I work in sales. I have to deal with like sales and marketing every day. The people that they have doing their presentations and the designing their presentations, they're not sales and marketing people. Those are product development.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to communicate with people like somebody who's a salesperson or a marketing person. Sony did it the other way around. The presentation, how the people talk to you, what they're explaining, it's all targeted information. It comes from sales and marketing, and I think that's why it turned out better.
Yeah, they actually had someone that knew how to present it. So
Right.
That was really a big thing. That there was a big deciding factor in who was gonna wow the people more. It hurts me to say it, but right now PS is winning. You know what I mean? What do you think? Who you think is winning?
You know what? I think if I am gonna get Xbox One, I'm gonna wait for the dust to settle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for some type of conference meeting with Xbox, the higher ups to say, look, we made a mistake. We're gonna change some stuff so that you can do these things. Or if my prediction comes true, they get sued. What happens after that in terms of things that they change to accommodate the people who don't have internet connections or don't want internet connections or whatever the case may be. At that point, I might jump out and get one. I mean, the fact that it's $100 more expensive,
Yeah.
that's a big deal too. 500 versus 400. I mean, $100 is $100. That's an extra game, or extra 2 games depending on when you get them.
Yeah, and I was thinking about getting both, but if it was where the Xbox One had something for me to to compete with, and where the decision was hard,
Right.
then maybe I would have gone both. Hey, why not? But at this point, I think PS4 is just blowing them out. I think what's the point of getting the Xbox? If I get the PS4 and it's much better, I'm not gonna check in after 24 hours. I feel like I'm forced to do something. I shouldn't have to buy this product and feel forced to do something. You know what I mean? So
even with the 24-hour things, I mean, most people are connected to the internet, no matter what.
yeah.
You know?
But there are those times where you're just not gonna be on within 24 hours.
Right.
You understand? Either you're away from home, or maybe you just don't want to play within 24 hours. You know what I mean?
No, and you know what? I think I saw an article and they were talking about what exactly that meant. Apparently, even if the system is off, it can still make that call by itself. You don't have to turn it on.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that makes things much better.
That does make things much better. The only thing is what is exactly is it saying? What is it communicating without you even turning it on?
Yeah.
No.
Well, right now I think it's just a bunch of question marks up in the air, But with that being said, I think it's time to close out.
Sure.
And you got any final points you want to, any announcements you got anything to say before we close out?
Just thanks for the opportunity. I like working with other people, and this is the first shot that I'm doing with. Look forward to doing it more. Hopefully, I'm working on trying to get like a used or a cheap Xbox 360. Already tried once, and that was a little bit of a disaster. But I'm gonna see if I can find one pretty cheap. I think I still have a little bit of time left on my Xbox Gold account.
Right.
I may be wrong. If not, people are still gonna play the Xbox 360 for a year.
Yeah.
So I might just re-up on my Xbox Gold if I can find a cheap one, and that way I can kind of do some some collaborative stuff live. So to speak.
All right. Well, I'll be looking forward to playing with you on Xbox. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later, and peace.
All right,
Nice
peace out.
having you, Carlos.